So just as we all predicted, right? We're having to talk about the Rangers offseason in the early days of May. So we're gonna make this video. I'm not gonna even go crazy with it. We're just gonna talk Artemi Panarin and the possibility of him getting traded. Now, there's a bunch of disclaimers I'm gonna get to. This is not an advocacy. I'm not advocating trade for Artemi Panarin, but there are rumors that are out there, and you guys know how much I love to do these trade mocks and do stuff like this, and create a little bit of discourse. So that's literally exactly what we're gonna do right now. We're just gonna talk about, if it is possible, what are potential scenarios. So if before you comment, thank you. It's my first video in 3 weeks, by the way. I've been doing a lot of podcasts with Core Python and Ice Cold Takes. So if you guys don't follow them already on social media, please do so. They're very fun, and we will be doing more collabs in the future. We actually have something, hopefully, after this weekend. We'll be getting together with the Hartford Wolfpack insider Ricky Milliner, talking about the Wolfpack and their playoff run, but that's for a later date. Moving on. So, disclaimer number 1. This is not an advocacy. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm not advocating for a trade. These scenarios are highly unlikely to occur. So just chill. This video is being made for fun. Fun. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere at any time at all. Down here in the deep blue sea. And this is just to add to the discourse of the Rangers offseason. This is nothing, just chill, all right? Just sit back and enjoy. But disclaimer 2, these scenarios are assuming that Panarin waives his no moving clause, the cap rises to 83.5, and the acquiring team is actually interested in Artemi Panarin. So throw all of your, but this. No, this is just for fun. And this is just drawing scenarios if they were to occur. That's it. We're just playing make-believe for a second. That's what these videos are for. They're for fun. Let's see if this could work. Oh, maybe we could do this. Oh, maybe we could do that. This is just adding to discourse. Gives you something to think about. Have a little bit of fun with it. So everyone, just relax. I've got 3 comparables. You guys know how much I love comparables. For reference, I forgot to add this in there, so I'm just going to show it to you on the old calculator. So Artemi Panarin's cap hit, as we all know, is a lot of numbers. Specifically, $11,642,857. With the cap raising to 83.5, Artemi Panarin's cap hit is 13.9% of the cap next season. That's a lot. Our trade comparables are Marian Gaborik for Brassard, Dorsett, and Moore. Obviously, there's more pieces, but we're just talking about the core components. Nash to Columbus for Dubinsky, Niesimov, Eriksson, and a first. Kessel to Pittsburgh for Spaulding, Harrington, Kapanen, and a first. You know what's absolutely crazy? These comparables are dealing with cap situations that are not nearly as dire as the current NHL cap. So these comparables do pretty much nothing. And you'll see why. I spent the last 3 hours on Cap Friendly. 3 hours. I wanted to draw 10 scenarios for trades. Because of the cap and the way it is, I could only make 3 work. That were even, and when I say 3 work, I mean in the realm of realistic, of like a 50% chance of being realistic. Anything less than that, I scrapped. I probably scrapped 20 trade proposals because the cap did not work. It put the Rangers against the cap. It put the other teams against the cap, and it was so beyond realistic. Like, it was like, I know I said this is for fun, but it was so beyond realistic that it was like an NHL GM mode, like EA Sports bad. So, well, this is what we came up with. Scenario number 1, the Anaheim Ducks. I believe they'll have the most cap space in the NHL going into this offseason with, I think, $30 million, something like that. But the trade proposal, and as a Rangers fan, you'll be underwhelmed, but this is the reality of the situation. The Rangers acquire Adam Henrique, Frank Vetrano, and Isaac Lundstrom. The cap differential is $317,000. That's it. That is it. These are going to be pretty underwhelming, so just tame yourself. But what do the Rangers get out of this? Well, as been the kind of the discourse on Twitter, the Rangers need guys that kind of just hum, they just skate, and they're playoff players. I tried to make this kind of similar to when the Rangers got Brassard, Dorsett, and John Moore, where they kind of just got guys that just played, just worked their ass off, specifically Derek Brassard. You're kind of hoping that Lundestrom can grow into a solid middle six center. He plays hard. He causes turnovers. He's okay in the face-off dot, but you're kind of hoping he just pops off. Frank Vetrano, we've already seen Frank Vetrano with the Rangers. He's played very well. I believe he'll have 2 years left at $3.6 million. We know he'll work in the middle six. He just plays hard. And Adam Henrique. Rangers fans know about Adam Henrique all too well in the playoffs. His cap hit of $5.85 million or $5.8 million ends the season after next. But yeah, this is not very exciting. The most exciting trade scenario is coming up. There's only one that I'm actually wow, that would be kind of dope. But this is not one of them. This is one where this is just making the money work. Because you got to remember too, the Rangers need to add cap space this offseason too. So it's if we're making this deal, it's not to break even money wise, it's to open up cap space. And this one only does $317,000. This is just a scenario that almost just makes sense for both sides. This is not the exciting scenario I was talking about. The exciting scenario I was referring to comes next. It's a very interesting one. But this one is just kind of just a money move. It just makes sense. So the Rangers trade Panarin to Ottawa for Alex DeBrincat. Alex DeBrincat is seemingly not going to sign an extension in Ottawa. He wants nothing to do with it. He's got a qualifying offer of $9 million, which takes him to UFA the year after this year. So it'll be a RFA this year, a UFA next year. So the Rangers could re-sign DeBrincat. They could qualify him and then trade him. Do whatever the hell they want with him. I really don't give a shit. But it's what they could do. And it makes sense. Ottawa gets Artemi Panarin locked in at 3 years for a number probably similar to what Alex DeBrincat would sign the extension for. Maybe a little bit less depending on what he demands. So the Rangers got a guy that shoots the puck. He's got an excellent one-timer, a righty shot. So you replace Panarin's righty shot. And a guy that kind of just plays and works his bag off. It could work. It could not work. If DeBrincat just signs his qualifying offer, the Rangers open up $2.5 million in cap space. They won't even need to trade a player. Trade another player as a cap casualty. They could technically keep the roster as is. An Alex DeBrincat extension would probably work out around the $9 million per year mark, maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less. It all depends on how you envision Alex DeBrincat. This past year, I don't even think he hit 30 goals, but more than once prior to that season, he scored over 40 goals. So, I don't know. But it could work. It's one of these ones that just makes sense. But then again, you draw into question, if you want to talk super realism, does Panarin waive for Ottawa? Is Ottawa interested in Panarin? Nobody knows. That's why it's just for fun. Now, the scenario that I think would be the most fun and has potential to work out phenomenally for both sides. Artemi Panarin to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Patrik Laine and Sean Kuraly. Patrik Laine has 3 years left in his deal till he's a UFA. Sean Kuraly has 2 years left after this season. Going into next season till he's a UFA. Sean Kuraly, one of the few players in the league that is consistently over 200 hits a year, wins faceoffs, causes turnovers, and it's just a mother effort to play against. A perfect playoff player. Patrik Laine, I don't think wants to be in Columbus. I think that's been clear. I think a guy like Patrik Laine would do pretty well in the bright lights of New York. A guy with a lethal shot, and just hasn't really figured anything out since he wanted out of Winnipeg. When he first bursted into the league, Patrik Laine was physical, caused turnovers, shot every puck, and every puck that he shot pretty much went in. Lethal one-timer, could pass, has vision, skated hard, but we really haven't seen that Patrik Laine since probably year 3. This is not a reclamation project because Patrik Laine is still pretty damn close to, if not a point-per-game player with Columbus. I think he had 52 and 56 this year. So it's not a reclamation project by any means. It's just you hope you could squeeze out that top-end potential Patrik Laine had years ago. And you hope having him with his fellow Finn, Kaapo Kakko, could do that to him. Maybe having another Finn there excels Kaapo Kakko. Maybe he pops off. Maybe they play on a line together and you have 2 Finns with ridiculously hard shots, pretty damn good physical attributes, and their top-end talent, which is yet to be seen on both players, comes out. This scenario, for me, is the most fun, and I think could potentially make the most sense. Would Artemi Panarin waive his no-movement clause to go back to Columbus? He had some of his best years in Columbus. Who knows? I think it's the most fun scenario, and I think it would be the coolest, and it would be kind of the one of the three I've drawn out. I think the one I'd be behind the most, maybe Alex DeBrincat, is tied, if not maybe slightly more favored or less favored than this deal, but I think this would be the most interesting scenario, personally. But you guys will have to let me know on that. And I did do a for funsies scenario. This completely unrealistic. It's if you think NHL 23 be a GM mode is bad, get your laugh in now. It's just for funsies. Just laugh. Just laugh so I can move on, please. Troy Terry would be sick. I would love Troy Terry on the Rangers. We just don't have the money to add him. But man, Troy Terry would be pretty freaking cool. Pretty damn cool. Anaheim's got an embarrassment of riches. If you could steal one from them, just for funsies. But anyways, you guys tell me what scenario you thought was the most fun. Which one's the most realistic? Which one's the most possible? Do you think the Rangers even trade Artemi Panarin? Personally, I don't think it happens. I think it's a pipe dream. I think with his no movement clause, I think with the cap space the way it is, I don't see a scenario anywhere, anytime, anyhow, where Artemi Panarin has the ability to be traded. Especially with his no movement clause. Because the only teams that could afford him are more likely than not going to be on his movement, on his allowed trade team list, if that even makes sense. I can't even English right now. I don't think it happens. A man can pray, a man can hope, and a man can have fun. And we did all three of those today. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It's going to be a very long offseason, so we got to laugh while we can, guys. It's going to be mayhem. The coach hunt is on. The search for cap space is on. The filling of roster spots, the Lafreniere and Miller extensions. Who the hell knows? It's going to be a long offseason, so you guys just sit back, relax, and let's get through it all together. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe Patrick Laine will be a New York Ranger, and Artemi Panarin will be going back to Columbus. I doubt it, but who knows? Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you're watching because I certainly enjoyed making it. And if you understood everything I just said, you do not need hearing aids. I made it easy on you that time, so you probably don't need hearing aids. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.